Colorado's obviously a tough test. How do you guys feel about your efforts to sort of right the ship in terms of process tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good. Coach challenges us. We've asked for that. We want to be pushed like an elite team, and we have been an elite team this year. So we've responded well when we haven't had our best games this year so far. And, it's a tough building to play in here, obviously, with the altitude and the players that they can put out there on last change and all that kind of stuff. So I thought we battled hard, and, it wasn't perfect, but that's the game of hockey, and found a way to get 2 points.
It's a different team, obviously, than Utah, so what you're looking to address is different, but what was the key to making sure that you rebounded well against Colorado?
Well, I think, obviously, first and foremost, worrying about ourselves. We felt like, when we're on our game, we're aggressive. Each guy is on their toes and playing with pace and competitiveness. So that's something we can control every night, and we just didn't feel like we had it right in Utah. And so I think that was the biggest thing. And then obviously, there's certain teams with star players like Colorado that you have to make some adjustments for. But again, when you're on the road, every guy's going to play against their top guys with the last change and just the way it goes. So I thought we did a good job of, they're going to get their looks. They're fantastic players. They're top unit there. But we did a good job of finding a way to get to OT and let Neil go bar down.
Yeah, speaking of that was one of the louder pings I've ever heard. What did you see from that, and what do you see from Neil's shot as a general rule?
Yeah, I mean, we saw a very similar goal here in this building, I think 2 years ago. Neil's going down that wing and taking a slapper far side. So I think a few of us were talking after when he picked the puck up and had the room, we kind of had flashbacks, and I think he even outdid that last shot with this one. It was a perfect shot. I had a good angle at it, and huge win.
Did you call your bank off of Velarde for that goal? What was that play?
Obviously on that play, McKinnon did a pretty good job of getting in the lane, and I saw him at the side of the net, tried to shoot it at him. He's got pretty good hands. I think it's probably not an overly high percentage play, but with Gabe there, maybe it is, because he's so good at tipping pucks. So I was getting ribbed by a couple guys, specifically Nate on that one. Just missed the net by 4 feet. I was like, hey, is what it is, Bounce is Scholastic Player of the Year kind of stuff. So no, it was, hey, we'll take it. We had a great shift, and like I said, 3 guys were around the paint. It was a scramble, and you get rewarded when our guys are willing to get inside like that.
Can't help but ask about Cale Makar's goal. That's a pretty all-world skill sort of moment. What did you see on that play from him?
Yeah, he's an unbelievable player. Broke it out from one knee and came up the ice with a lot of speed. They do a great job of finding a late man in the rush, and obviously he got outside and scored a nice goal. Skated a lot with him in the summer. See that kind of play happen a lot in 2-on-2 and 3-on-3, and obviously he translates that and does it night in, night out in the NHL. So special player, and obviously would have liked to stop it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, a little bit. What was that? Was that 2 years ago? Yeah, 2 years ago. It was, about the same thing.
What is it? You in the building, you got your angles right. You like the altitude, the air. Like, how do you set your sights on that?
Puck must go a little faster in the altitude. I don't know what it is. Yeah, no, just made a good shot.
What was the key to sort of upgrading the game you guys had against Utah and handling, the star power of the Avalanche tonight?
Yeah, from an individual effort, just everybody picking up their game a little bit. And I thought overall as a team we were patient tonight. We allowed the game to come to us, and then took advantage of the opportunities when we could.
There are moments when their stars are going to get their chances in transition and they find layers. What's the key to sort of staying calm and handling the chaos as it comes?
Kind of like you said, stay calm. They get a chance, don't let them get two. We know for the most part, Bucky's going to make the first save. We clear out the second chances, we're going to be all right.
As a hip check connoisseur of sorts, what did you make of Nikolai Ehlers' effort on the penalty that looked like a hip check to me?
I'll let you answer that one. I think you know my thoughts.
It's sort of a dying art, though.
Listen, it is what it is. The game happens fast. The refs call what they call it. And I thought our penalty kill did a great job. Whether you agree with it or not, we got to kill the penalty, and we did.
Yeah, big moment in the game. It looks like they made a couple plays into the slot, but I follow Sandberg, like you're cleaning that sort of stuff up. What was the key to that job getting done?
Staying compact and staying calm. We talked about that before the game. Again, they're going to get their chances. They're good players. So stay calm, do the job, and get it done.
He gets his roses fairly often, but another spectacular game from him in certain fronts. What did you make of his performance?
Yeah, fantastic game. He's obviously one of our best players on most nights, and I'd say he was again tonight because he made a couple big ones.
Can't help but ask about Kel McCarr's goal.
Yeah, it's impressive. He was, especially at the start of the third period, he was really pushing to tie the game, and he made a good play.
Thank you. bounce back from the sort of challenge that you laid out for them?
Yeah, you know what? Took longer than 60 minutes, but it was a battle. It was, we had We get lots of zone time against them. They certainly got lots against us. We had to use our whole bench to be strong tonight, like I mentioned about with that top unit of McKinnon and those guys. But I really liked how we played, and there's a lot of good things off of that.
There's almost no way to stop them from getting time and space in certain moments. Yeah. How did your team sort of stay calm and at least stop the damage?
Yeah, the biggest thing is you try to keep them out of the middle of the ice, keep them the outside as much as possible. I mean, it's hard. You saw a car come through there. Both goals, actually, that was because we gave up the middle, but I thought all in all we did a pretty good job of keeping them to the outside of the ice and kind of taking away the guts.
You really talk about going to the net, and both your goals in regulation were clear examples of that, right? Morgan kind of right on the doorstep, and then Gabe, who's always around the net, kind of gets it off his body.
Yeah, it's a hard league, and if you want to stay on the outside, you're not going to get much, and you have to get inside to find sometimes those greasy goals, and we hadn't scored many as of late, and just for us to go in there and you may take an extra shot, you maybe get banged on a little bit, but at the end of the day, when you score goals like that, the reward's nice.
There was no challenge on Gabe's goal, but there was a delay. Was that initiated by the league?
It's the league looked at because it hit his hand. They wanted to see if there's a push motion, then it's obviously no goal, but it just deflected off his hand.
Right. Neil Pionk's winner. I'm sure that looked pretty sweet from your vantage point.
Yeah, I remember it. We did a couple of years ago. It's almost the exact same thing coming down the wing. I don't think he went top shelf that time, but yeah, it's this must be his barn. But that was Helly made a nice goalie handoff there, and obviously we caught the guy deep, and that's nice to see us finish it off.
You talked this morning about the standard that's set and how the other day you clearly didn't meet that. Safe to say this was very much the standard that you'd like to see?
Yeah, I mean, that's the sort of the growth of our team, part of our leadership group, just knowing that we have to be a lot better than what we were. And nobody was happy, like I mentioned to you, nobody was happy with how we played in Utah. And just to come out like we did and, to play as strong as we did and, keep a real good hockey team, keep their offensive chances down and just kind of stick with the game plan. And it was a strong effort by everybody.
You guys were able to have a big kill with about 4 minutes left there on Ehlers' hip check.
It's a lost start.
A lost start. Yeah, I was asking Neil about that earlier too. But the penalty kill had the success, and they made plays into the middle of the ice. What did you guys do right to shut that?
Yeah, we had some good sticks. There was a couple where they did get into the middle with it or tried to make plays, and I think Al was one, Sammy was another. They were trying to go there. They even tried the high tip, but we just did a good job of kind of packing it in, but when we had a chance to flare out and go get the loose pucks, we did, and I thought we did that on our other kills as well, that we got in lanes, didn't let them have that first shot, the shot they probably wanted best, and from there we kind of, whether it was a rebound or a loose puck, thought we did a good job of jumping on them.
Just one more from you, Scott, but in a game like this and with these two teams, do you even bother thinking of who your shootout shooters are going to be, or there's almost no chance that those two teams are going 5 minutes without a goal?
I'm pretty sure that it was going to end before the 5-minute mark. Yeah, no, it's in my history here. It ends usually. So, and you're seeing a lot more of that. I think in the league, goals are being scored. So, no, I don't even. We do have a list, but I haven't looked at it in a long time.
Just if there were moments that maybe looked like man-to-man D coverage for a second there, was that just chaos and response, or was that a plan?
It had a little bit to do with their quickness and their ability to dart. There was some good handoffs in the second there, and we got hemmed in a couple of times. We kind of handed off, but it had more to do with to keep them on the outside, not letting them dart and get inside. And you don't want to do it. We don't want the guys to go man on man. But at the end of the day, there's sometimes where you're caught in situations where you just got to stay on top of the guy, and it's usually 29. 8, 7, yeah, exactly. So there's situations where you got to try to cut that off. Right? Thank you.